The reason you don't create more of the things that you want to create is because you see creation as a pass or fail test versus an experiment. Now, if you grew up as a hypervigilant child, things like experimentation, play, self-expression, making mistakes in a healthy, happy environment or safe environment isn't really your forte. It's not something you've had a lot of experience in, but that doesn't mean that you don't have access to it. And in fact, that is where a lot of your healing, in the sense of just making it safe and enjoying being yourself, comes from, versus this survival pattern of constantly trying to work out who you need to be for the world. What is the correct way to create? What is the correct way to be seen? Which kind of puts you on this hamster wheel where you are constantly delaying creating this thing because you don't trust that who you are in this present moment is good enough to be able to actually create it. So for a lot of you, self-development is your safe space. It feels very, very safe because you feel like you're in control of finding out what's missing, broken, wrong about you, so that you can then fix that and become the right person. This is literally just that same survival pattern, that same kind of trauma playing out and being masked as healing and progress. Now, one of the hardest pills to swallow is understanding that you are at the center of why you don't feel safe to be yourself, because you're constantly moving the goalposts. There's always something that you are still missing. There's always something that you can do better. There is always something that could potentially be wrong with you. And hence why it feels like you loop in this incessant kind of field or cycle of, I have these ideas, I don't feel quite ready yet, I delay them, I then feel frustrated about myself, I then probably spiral into shame, and then I try out again with a new rebrand and it doesn't work, and then I feel like I'm still just as unsafe to be myself. And that is because you've been living in like endless self-improvement since before you even really knew it was called self-improvement. Creating, and the skill of being able to create things in the present moment that aren't perfect, but getting them out there, experimenting, finding out what your unique style is, the way in which you enjoy creating, how that, allows you to magnetize the correct people towards you, is such a healing playground, not because you finally work out who you needed to be, but because you give yourself the permission in the present moment that you're exactly who you need to be, and that it is safe to be seen and create exactly as you are. Ironically, that is the thing that you're reaching for in endless self-development. That's the thing that you keep using as your excuse as to why you can't create this thing yet. You are constantly projecting the permission slip that it is safe to be you off into this future, perfected, fixed version of yourself, instead of realizing that you have always had access to that in this exact moment, exactly as you are. So if that resonated, hi, I'm Meg, and I help ambitious female artists, creatives, dreamers like yourself how to finally let themselves and their work be seen by changing the experience of how fun and safe it feels to create in this present moment. So if that sounds like you can head to the link in my bio to book in for your one-to-one session, inquire about 6-week mentorship, or check out my other resources. Mwah.